Well, hi there. It's been a while. How are you? Walk Talk's back in the saddle, and I thought I would just do a quick video to show you through a game I've been playing recently. This is Dyson Sphere Program. It's an early access game that launched a few weeks ago. Apparently, it's been made by a team of only 5 people, which is absolutely staggering. I cannot believe only 5 people have made this. It's a game very much in the style of Factorio and Satisfactory. So if you like your base building and your automation kind of games, then this one's definitely for you. So here's the face of my mech dude who you use. But yeah, I've been getting a few people asked me to do some more videos. So shout outs to LK and LI. You know who you are. You bugged me enough, and here it is, some videos for you. So just a bit of a walkthrough of the base I've got here. You can see from the bottom right hand corner, this is about 7 hours in. I've restarted a couple of times because that's always the way in these kind of games. So I really like Factorio and Satisfactory, but I'm terrible at both of them. I don't understand ratios, and once things get a certain level of complex, I just tend to give up. This game has kept me going though. I'm up to red science. Those of you who play the game a lot will know that, and you'll probably be saying, well dude, it gets a lot more complex, but I'm comfortable. I've also been ripping ideas off people from the internet, so you know, that always helps as well. So here we are. This is sort of my starter base, well, my very first bits. This is an iron deposit that I've got coming out to make iron ingots, and these iron ingots over here are making gears that are used for a bunch of stuff. I've got some steel getting made as well. Just so totally fun. Here's my wind farm. So tons of wind turbines. These days I'm using a mixture of this. I'm also using some coal power as well. I'm being a wuss. I've set my resources to unlimited because I don't want to run out of stuff. It's okay. I'm still a noob at these kind of games. Here's a copper deposit coming out again into copper ingots. That's used, not as used for as much, but it's used anyway. And I'm also, what's coming out here? This is steel. And here I've got some copper that's just becoming graphite, and some spare copper. These have been full for hours and I don't really take them anymore, but that's okay. Alright, over here is where things start getting a bit more complex. We're making magnetic coils and we're making circuits. I've also got some stone bricks happening, and I've got coils here that make these coils. Are they called coils? No, magnets that have been made for the magnetic coils here, which are really crucial. Yep, some more stone bricks, and then this is like a, you should call this a mall. I ripped this off a really great YouTuber who streams on Twitch all the time, and his name is Nilaus. It's Nilaus. He is terrific. I've been watching his Factorio stuff and his Satisfactory stuff for years, and I knew when this game dropped that he'd be all over it, and he is. And so this idea here is I've totally ripped off him. I would never have been able to figure out how to build something like this myself, but I'll explain to you quickly how it works because I think it's really neat. So just like Factorio, you can handcraft a bunch of stuff. So if I wanted to get like a Tesla tower, you know, I could handcraft one, and you know, it takes a few seconds. You might think, oh, you can just build stuff, right? But very soon you find that you need so much that in order to handcraft it would take like 30 minutes. So the whole idea of the game is to make sure things are happening automatically so you don't have to worry. So all this stuff here, like transport belts and sorters and miners and assemblers and smelters and all this fun stuff, rather than making it yourself, you're better off just trying in the early game to get these machines to make it for you. So I've got all these lines of stuff coming through. So we've got stone bricks here and iron ingots here. Then we've got the magnetic coils, circuits, gears, and we don't actually need copper for this. And so these just come down these machines, they get fed into, in fact I'll show you how it works. So I'll nick this, and then if you have a look, these things should be, yeah, so that the gears getting taken out and the iron's getting taken out from here. They're being made into transport belts and they're just being deposited there. So whenever I need them, I can just waltz over and pick them up without having to handcraft them, which is really handy. And this giant tower just supplies power and it recharges my mech suit as well. So that's like, I think they call this a mall in Factorio terms. So I guess that's like a basic mall. It's already kind of redundant though. I need to get a second one going to make the harder stuff. You can see I've done that for, these are like faster sorters, I think, and so you need for these the original sorters, which are coming out of here, and you need these rotors, no, motors, yep. So they're being made here, so I think that's really full as well, which is really useful. Here's just a coal power plant. Again, if I turn the vanes on, you'll see that like I've got 15 billion here, so I'm not going to run out because I've set it to unlimited. But normally people say not to use coal. You're better off using like wind and solar because you want to use the coal for other stuff. But I'm not going to run out, so I thought, who cares? Just make lots of coal power plants, and these give you a big boost in your energy production. So at the moment I'm making 53 megawatts, but I'm not using too much of that because most of this stuff is idle. And then the cool thing about this mall, again, Neelaus, the dude who suggested how to set it up, all the extra stuff here can go into blue science, and this is what fuels your research. So I've got a line of blue science going around here that I'll show you later because it hooks up to the red that I've just done. So I'm making glass here, and I'm also making, I forgot what this is. This is high purity silicon. So you're supposed to make these from actual silicon and not from stone, but there is no silicon veins on this planet. I just before, about half an hour ago, travelled to my first other planet that has silicon in it, which is cool. So that's the big difference between this and Factorio and Satisfactory, is this is set in, you know, sort of a galaxy. The idea is to create a Dyson sphere around the sun to sort of harvest all its energy, I guess. So yeah, this silicon is being used and fed into, I'm trying to get some solar arrays. I've got tons of them now. You can see I'm trying to pave, this is the equator. It's apparently the best place to put solar stuff down, so I'm just going to put solar arrays along this entire thing, and that way I'll have way more power. I probably don't need it though, but it's kind of rad anyway. Alright, over here, got some oil that's being extracted out and turned into, I think it's hydrogen and like refined oil. That's refined oil, I think. And that's being used to make red science. So then the red science and the blue science here are getting combined to make the research. I actually don't have a research at the moment, so let's choose one. So that's the tech tree. I don't think it's quite as big as Factorio's, but it seems like it's definitely bigger than Satisfactory's. What is this? Deuterium. That looks too complicated. Let's choose something I actually understand. Yeah, well, we'll need these magnetic rings eventually. So it takes 1,000 blues and 250 reds. So if I activate it, it starts counting down these. So these guys start firing up. You can see them. You can see them working. See the red and the blue inside there working. So the game will get way more complicated, and that's probably the point at which I'll bounce off, to be honest. But I'm really enjoying it so far. Here I'm just making some more graphite. I'm not actually sure why. Oh yeah, it's for the red science. And then again from Neelaus, I watched this video of his this morning, and I've ripped this off for this current setup here. I don't have these going anywhere. This is why it's backed up now. But this is a setup where you get oil in here, you turn it into refined oil here, and you can use that refined oil and hydrogen to make more hydrogen and graphite, and that basically lets you make red science a bit easier. And I'll feed this eventually over there where the other stuff is, and that'll boost how much red science I'm making, because at the moment my science is really, really slow. But yeah, I've got a few upgrades, so I can do the flight mode. I can also do the sail mode, which I'm not sure how to control really well yet, so I've kind of gotten lost a few times. But yeah, that's in a nutshell, that's sort of, 7 hours of progress. Fairly happy with it, to be honest. It feels like a lot more than I ever got done in 7 hours of playing Satisfactory, that's for sure. But yeah, if you like Factorio, Satisfactory, those kind of games, I would certainly recommend checking this one out. No multiplayer at this stage. I don't know if multiplayer will be added, but it is early access, and they've been really quick with updates and hotfixes and stuff, so they're quite responsive. A few localization issues, so if you're a native English speaker, you'll see tons of mistakes in the VO and that sort of thing, but I actually think it's quite charming. I think it's a bit funny, and I think it's just incredible that 5 people have made all this, and this is just a very small part of what the whole game is. I'm very early on. I'm only on one planet, but there are tons of different types of planets and stars, and I've seen screenshots from the end of the game that just look absolutely bonkers. So yeah, that's my little look at Dyson Sphere program. Please do check it out if you're into those sort of games. And yes, again, another shout out to LK and LI for bugging me to upload some more videos onto YouTube. I'm not going to promise to do any others, but you got your wish this time. Alright guys, until next time, take care.